Okay, welcome back. Did you figure it out? As always, please post on the Moodle worksheet forum. So there is a whole number of other features that you can use with SPARQL. You've seen how to remove duplicates. I briefly mentioned that you can sort them. There's also a bonus task on the worksheet where you can look up how to sort them and try it out yourself. A bit later, I'll show you how to ask queries onto multiple knowledge graphs and not just one. You can aggregate results in different ways. You can make queries that go through the path through the graph. So you're matching sort of a graph pattern, a graph structure using a regular expression. So there's quite a lot that you can do. And again, over time, it's better to learn these features as you need them. So in practice, you need some way to query a knowledge graph. And you'll see that this is typically done using a network query. And this is actually what we'll come to in the next part of the lecture, the SPARQL protocol. So you'll send a query using an HTTP request, and then you'll get the result back from a server. And when you run this query, you can specify, just like with a web server, what kind of response format you want to have. For example, you want the results in n triples, in RDF, XML, and so on. So we'll see an example for this like this later, but the core idea is that you run a query against a knowledge graph like here. You send this to a server. It's a web technology, an HTTP request, and then the server will answer with the result in a certain format. So here in this example, it uses RDF XML, but you can ask for the format in the request header. A bit earlier, I mentioned that since SPARQL 1.1, you can also modify the data set. So you can modify by adding, changing, or removing triples from a graph. So as a few examples, you can have an insert statement. For example, you want to insert for a given ISBN number that this is of type work. Again, we are matching what we're interested in below here, but the new thing is that we're using the insert statement. And then what will happen is that we'll match the same ones as before. And because this here matches the pattern that we have given, we will insert this work URI for both of these books in the knowledge graph. Similarly, you can use delete. For example, if you want to delete a certain currency, then, if you want to delete any currency, no matter what it is, you can say delete. This is what we want to delete. This is the pattern that we are matching. And when you run the query, you'll see that all the triples with currency and the currency symbol have been removed from the graph. So in practice, SPARQL is a way to build applications on top of knowledge sources. So we talked about integrating knowledge from different knowledge graphs, but it's important that SPARQL is something that can be used over almost any knowledge source. So here we are looking at querying RDF graphs, but in the last lecture, you've also seen HTML with embedded RDFA data, and you can query those using SPARQL as well. In the next lecture, you'll see that there's also a way to export data from relational databases using RDF. So you can query those as well. And a bit later in the course, you'll see if you have unstructured text, natural language documents, you can use a combination of NLP techniques to extract triples from those and then integrate them in a SPARQL query as well. So the new idea or the concept is building an AI application that integrates knowledge from all of these different sources. And SPARQL is kind of the glue that gives you a way to access and combine all of these sources together. Okay, so much for the introduction to SPARQL queries. And then in the next lecture part, we'll talk a bit about the SPARQL protocol. See you then.